Wow. I think if we do another book, Joan, we may invite you to be a reviewer.
Ba 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 ba.
Let's do the low hanging fruit first, because hers actually takes a bit of work to get through. Okay, so this reminds you to activate the Every Cheese environment before installing the dependencies, but emits a reminder that you should be in the Every Cheese project folder. Ooh, nice. Okay, so I think I see where she's going with this. So, and this is chapter 18. And so chapter 18 is right here. So here, and it is section 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Install the dependencies. Um, don't forget. So up at the top, we actually do say go into there, but it doesn't hurt to add in just a general reminder. You know, as a student, sometimes you forget where you are, and so we there's a reason why in this book we are repetitive with some things, and that way when people go and visit, or when people try to figure this stuff out, they're not stuck with uh you know, they can't figure out why it doesn't work. It might have been because they left that directory. Don't forget to be in the top level. Let me just make sure that's the case. It's been a few weeks. Wow, Homebrew is taking a long time to update. Oops, GitHub. And every cheese. Okay, so the requirements, yeah, so the requirements are here. So don't forget to be in the top level directory of the Every Cheese project. If you, okay, so, and her name is Joan Eliot. Just make sure that is the name. We're going to go with that as a name. Just super good attention to detail there. That's a sign of a nice analytical mind. So really happy to get her input. So one of the, so here we go. Joan Eliot, and then in our changelog, oh yeah, we moved the changelog just to save space in the book. Did we? Yeah, we released something. 9. Did we release the book on the 1st? I don't know. I can't remember. Let me just check this really quick and make sure I don't need to. Hey, if any of you are joining us for the live Django online course that's coming up on Thursday and Friday, we have decided that the night before we are going to have a setup party. So please, and that's where for attendees of the class you can come and we'll help you set up your computer if you don't have it. And that way, hopefully everyone will be on board for having their computer set up in advance. And then in future offerings of this class, it'll be probably be mandatory that you attend this. It'll be part of the class offering, just so that way we have one day where we're focusing on setup, and then we get into the meat of the class. Okay, so I'm looking at when was the last time we updated this class. Oh, so we actually haven't released this yet, and today isn't the 9th, it is the 10th. So this is all changes that I don't believe have hit production. Wow, I wish I had 17 days ago. Yeah. So this is going to be a huge change, a huge update. Wow, I thought we had sent this out. That was a mistake on my part. Added missing reminder in chapter 18. Added missing reminder in chapter 18. Okay. So thank you, Joan Eliot. That was really good. Oh, and she has a minor clarification. You say apply our migrate, but you've never even before mentioned migrate command with the independent specifier here, users. You've had us doing oh my goodness, she is like, wow, like super attention to detail. Joan, if you're listening, this is a superpower. Like if anybody ever gets on you for not being this precise, they are idiots. This is wonderful. 23.2. That said, Joan, it'd be nice if you followed our standard format for this, but you get a pass because you are super duper precise. Wow. So 23.2, out of biofield, create and run migrations. She's right. This time append it with the word users. This ensures that the migration only affects the user's app. Awesome. Thank you, Joan, again. Wow, I love encountering people and seeing different styles of how they report issues and give us corrections. It's just, yeah. Instruction to save the file. Okay, 23.1 says to add the file to the model, but perhaps given the bonehead I seem to be, Joan, you're not a bonehead, might also remind me to save users.py before proceeding to 23.2. Again, this omission is mainly noticeable because instructions are in general so step-by-step specific. Since you're telling me to do every last little thing, when you don't tell me to do something, my temptation is to think I don't need to do it. Wow. Okay. Yeah. My estimation of you just keeps going up and up. You are not a bonehead. This is so valuable. There's a general instruction in the intro as to the necessity of saving files. As always, let's not forget to save our work. But as always, isn't perhaps clear enough. Saving to protect us from lost work is what it implies, especially when you use the word save to get steps as well as saving individual files. Whereas the issue I had with 23.1 is that saving files that's before the website kind of, oh my God. 23.1. Wow, she's really, Joan, you're really getting, you're really, don't save the file again. Save the file again. In fact, Joan, you have prompted me to create a warning box Here, let's add, save the file again before proceeding. Save your files constantly. Anytime you leave a leave some code to visit another, leave a code file to visit another file, or run something on the command line, it is always a good get this save your files. Save your file. And then how to set VS Code to autosave. There's a I actually use autosave. Perfect. In fact, within VS Code, we recommend going to the file menu and choosing choosing auto to file menu in at the top of the screen and choosing file save. This will autosave file within VS Code anytime you leave them. Again, thank you, Joan. You have just saved a lot of people a bit of grief. Thank you. I'm going to even mention thank you so much for mentioning this. It is an awesome, and you have the 100th issue on 2 Scoops of Django. Wow. Thank you so much for mentioning this. It is an awesome issue. In fact, we are adding the following to yeah, I will take the sausage and pancakes. Okay. Audrey's offering me a late lunch. By the way, Audrey, oh, it's a snack. Oh, it's a snack. I guess I skipped lunch and breakfast. Yes. Just so you know, like Audrey is, she is not a housewife. She is very much, but when I'm streaming, she'll like get me stuff and give me stuff. So it's really sweet. And we've added along to the book based on this issue. I know what we do. Boom, do. Add this. And we'll okay. So again, thank you, Joan. Thank you, Finite Singularities, for submitting that issue. I'll look at it in a couple minutes. Save your files constantly. And now let's go into the changelog. Is the text big enough for you to read? I just want to make sure that this is in 23. Yeah. Included instructions on how to get VS Code to autosave in chapter 23. Right? Let's move on to let's move on to the next issue. Language detail. Here we go. Another one by Joan. Okay, Joan, again, we have a format for a reason, but you know, right now you get a pass because everything else about your issues are awesome. Oh, and this is issue number 300. Congratulations, Joan Eliot. Is that like that? I'm trying to figure out if that tells us where she's from. I'm gonna follow her. I think she has a lot of potential. Anyone this detail oriented is someone you want. I don't have this at all. Otherwise, we wouldn't need Joan submissions. You say when migrations are being created, for instance, by the Django module developer, we only need to apply them. That's the case here. But that's not the case here. We've been asked to run migrations created by us, not the Django developers. Okay, let's see what she's talking about. What are migrations? I think she's not quite in the right. Hey, Enjoy Yourself, how's it going? Okay, so first we create the commands that will create the database, then we apply these changes. When the migrations, yes, the languages are not, actually, hold on. What are migrations? First, oh, I see. What are migrations? Whenever we do something that affects our structured database, mostly when we modify models, but also when we create the database, we need to apply these changes. That is called migration. You do it in 2 steps. First, we create the commands that will change the database, then we apply these changes. When the migrations have already been created, for example, by the Django module developer, we only need, yeah, I see her point. Okay, Joan. Wow. When migrations have already been created, for instance, some of the core Django elements like auth, the core Django, so yeah, she's right. What I'm saying is going to be really confusing. I think the answer is we don't need this. Can we get away with just getting rid of that block of text? Yeah, we don't need anything else. Thank you so much. Oh, and French toast. So, this is what she gave me. No, show her. I'm so embarrassed. Okay, she asked me not to show you. That's okay. Hold on. Let me say what. For example, by third-party libraries, we only need to apply them. That's not the case here. We are creating, this is what creating, and we are making, let's use similar term, making our own. We are making our own and running our own and running them. I don't know if you can hear my daughter. Okay. All right. Okay, so how about this? And this is in chapter 23, so made ending paragraph about migrations more clear in chapter 23. Oops. Oh no. Oh no, she's got me now. For beginning, it's just confusing after stressing the need to run migrations after changing something. You must change things without need to run migration. Okay. Let's wow. I think if we do another book, Joan, we may invite you to be a reviewer in advance before we get it out. Just this attention to detail is just fantastic. 1, 2, 3. What are migrations? Note. Actually, let's see. Note. Don't run these commands. Just understand what they are. Oops. Actually, let's change that. Don't run these commands. Just understand what they are. Should go here. And because it's Joan, I'm going to be extremely explicit. Don't run these next 2 commands. Yeah, Joan, the fact that you're so explicit in, or like you want really explicit stuff. So this is a good thing, and it's very Pythonic. And then 24.1, she dings me. She dings us again. I'm gonna like bring Audrey and Fabio. Well, really, it's probably mostly me. Okay. Let's see. Since this is not in models.py, since we are doing things outside models.py, we don't create migrations, create or run migrations in this chapter. So if you've been doing Django for a long time, you might be thinking, oh, like, isn't that obvious? It's obvious now. And for anyone who has a lot of experience programming, it's obvious that in Django there's separation of concerns. You know, the whole model view template thing, that models are over here and that affects the database, templates are over here. If you're not used to that architecture, and if you're coming from PHP or Cold Fusion, that may not be obvious. Like, parts of this might seem magical. If you never programmed before, this isn't obvious. And those are our customers. So for her to identify this is so awesome. And that's why I'm so full of praise for her, is because here we go. She actually proposed in a better place than what I have. So at the end of chapter 23, again, she is really spot on. As we can see, so here we have, do we have a summary in some of the, I know 2 Scoops of Django, we always have summaries. One more thing. You don't always need to migrate. The best rule of thumb for this, the best way to make or run migrations, the best a good quick typically migrations are only done when models.py are only done when classes within models.py are changed in the next chapter. As the next, for example, the next chapter is about templates, so we won't be doing any migrations there. Okay, whew. Didn't I add? I keep labeling it. Weird, I'm gonna refresh the page. There we go. Okay. Oh, so now we have what did I brew? Okay, so I'm gonna take a break real quick from handling Joan's excellent issues, and I'm gonna compress me a file. So I'm gonna do, maybe, do I have Magic? Yes, I do. So I can do Magic, and then it is and then we're gonna call it images 2020-06, and then we're gonna call it 2.jpg. All right, let's see what we have. So that's the compressed one, and the non-compressed one, and I think I can't tell. Like, here, let's can we tell a difference between them? I really can't. Let's check the file sizes. They're slightly less saturated. Let's see if Oh yeah, I see what you mean. We did lose a little bit of saturation. Huh. Well, we might just have a big file. I will when I have Audrey again. I'll talk to her about it and see what we can do. All right, so 24.3. It's possible to. Okay, she's right. It's kind of condescending. Yep, she's right too. We can get rid of that. So in there, third party, it's possible right here in there. Third party libraries written around them. Oh, that would be awesome if we could convert directly. Oh wow, let's see if we. So what Fabio is suggesting, this loves FCB, is it possible to convert directly to PDF using Imagemagick? Can Imagemagick convert to PDF? Oh, it might create something big. And turn down the volume while I eat some celery. No, I turned off the mic because I was eating celery. I don't want to crunch in everybody's ears. Sorry about that. So Fabio had suggested looking up converting to the image directly to PDF using Imagemagick. I know in the Python community we love to lean on Pillow, but if you're just doing command line stuff or things like this, then Imagemagick is a great tool to use. So I think what I might be able to do is let's try convert, and we're gonna try this first, and then we're going to see how it works with being a little bit more specific. So 6 by 20 dot JPEG background white page. I wonder if we can do digest, and then all right, let's look at my output PDF. Oh, this is my output PDF. It didn't like it at all. Yeah, I think so this guy's answer doesn't do anything. I think for whatever reason it crashed my stream. So apologies. Let's go. We'll just continue doing general issues. So we're missing a word according to Acousticat. Well, how we can easily. Yep, he's right. Tim Wilson, thank you. And he's not in our list of people who have done things. You know, it might be fun. It's too late to do it here, and I've not wanted to do it for our books yet. But if we do another book, then it'd be kind of neat is in the changelog if we mention people by name. I think that could be fun. Okay, so Tim Wilson. Okay, I think, did I lose everybody? Oh no, I lost everybody. Let's see, am I up? Yeah, I'm up. Yep, I can see myself scratching and like rubbing my head. Yeah. Context for code insertion. Oh, someone. Oh, thank you for the following. Word WERRDD. Thank you so much. Okay, so K Murray says, and this is Ken Murray. I'm fairly new to Django Fun. When you problem you can stop you dead in your tracks and you cannot make very frustrating for someone new to the game and something this book's goal intends to help avoid. I entered this as but the code did not get. I must have spent more than an hour trying to figure out why. The server starts up fine, the page executes fine. Just the nicety does not appear. Also notice the VS Code shows an error for the super reference. Oh So I don't understand. Let's check section 12.3 because it looks like we lost indentation according to him. The other thing is, so this is it, right? Oh, you know what it is? My guess is that he copy pasted it from the PDF or, okay, yeah, he copy pasted it. Huh, this is a little bit tricky working with variables. Let's see, working with variables and templates, your first template value. Let's see if we can practice using the admin. This is, none of this is Python stuff. Okay, so here's the thing. Ken Murray, poor guy, right? He did not know that for Python, maybe he doesn't have programming experience, maybe he does. The thing is he copy pasted it and it lost the tabs. And what that tells me is that absolute beginners will copy paste, even though we try to get people not to copy paste, but to actually write it out. If you're an experienced software engineer, yeah, you're right. He may be new to Python. You know that you want to type things out. So because he copy pasted, what is my statement? Okay, so here, finally, what is it? It's indentation is of absolute importance in Python. If you make certain that the last 3 lines of the get context data. Oh my god, it's so nice to be working in Markdown again after doing so much LaTeX. of the get context data. Make certain the last 3 lines of the get context method are indented. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. This so finite singularity is suggesting that we put this in a tip box. Let me see if I can look that up, because one of the problems I have with bookdown is I can never for the life of me remember this. So indent your code. MD tip. Indent code like in the code indent code per the code examples with Python per the examples. Hey Joey, how's it going? With Python, indentation is of absolute importance. It is how code blocks are defined. If you make certain, in this case, make certain that the last 3 lines of the get context data method are indented. I can put a code example in here because bookdown breaks if you stick a code example inside one of their warning things. So kind of frustrating. Yet another reason why we're almost certainly going to be moving to Mist to get for this book and future books. And this is in 18. Section 12.3. So wow, this is out of order. Hold on. This is gonna drive me nuts. Must be in order. Add tip for indenting Python in chapter 12. Okay, so we're gonna move these all the way up here. There we go. This this isn't just a code clarity issue in Python. If it is not done, then Python will throw errors. Thank you for that. All right, so Word just asked, what is Mist? Mist is actually a plugin for Sphinx that if you're familiar with Sphinx, it is a documentation generator for build in Python that runs off of restructured text. Mist does it with Markdown for Sphinx. And not only that, it uses the parser that it uses for Markdown is not the typical Markdown libraries for Python. It actually uses a port of the JavaScript Markdown it library, which is just better. it's faster and it follows the specs better, I've found. Mind you, this is my opinion, than Markdown or Markdown 2. So yeah, this is missed here. I'll paste it in the link so that way you can look and you can go to town with it. All right. Okay, so let's give our friend here his due. And he even thumbed himself up. So that's the sort of thing I do. Okay, ship cheese. Great point. Here's what we added. Okay. And then do we add them to our acknowledgements? No. So this is awesome. We have like 3 new contributors today so far, and we're not even done. Context for code insertion. Didn't I just mark this? Yeah, I did. That was weird. It didn't show the or maybe I missed it. Context for executing commands. It is not clear if I should be in the every cheese virtual environment with executing commands. Wonderful. Yeah. Then of course he stops following our template. So I should like I wonder how I can encourage people to stick with the template. You see, I have to, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being obnoxious by asking people to do it, because these are also beginners, right? And part of what we're doing is teaching them good practices. On the one hand, be good if I could get them to go in the absolute directions I want, because that will help them in their programming career. On the other hand, if I'm annoying to them right now, they're going to be less open to opening tickets. So there's this balancing act. And I think I'm just going to be nice, because it's clear both Ken and Joan are new to Python. And what better way to chase someone away from the community than to be, would the term be pedantic or finicky about them following templates? I think what I'm going to do is, after this release, if I see them submit more issues, I'll write something effective like, hey, Joan or Ken, these are great issues. Going forward, can you stick to the templates? It just makes it a little bit easier for us. Oh, yeah. It's kind of so finite singularity thing. The templates are good, but new people don't realize what they should be doing, and maybe we'll revisit it soon. I definitely see where you're coming with it, because the templates, what's obvious to us as professional engineers isn't obvious to people who aren't professionals. Okay, so we're gonna go to 16 using. Okay, so we have our page break. Oh, yeah. So our first thing is make certain you make certain the is activated. In your shell, you should see your shell, your command line stick to common terms. Am I reviewing people's code? No, I am actually This right here is Django Crash Course. So Word is asking, what exactly am I doing? Django Crash Course is a beginner's Django book, and we actually are teaching it as an online course. That is, that's the expensive online version. So you can buy it for $19.99, and it's a book that teaches Django in a way that follows the practices that we espouse in our book, which is now in the 5th edition. That's what we're working on now, is 2 scoops of Django. So so we're literally working on a book, and what I'm going over right now is issues. Thank you for the link, Fabio. What we're going over now is issues that readers are submitting. We instruct people to submit issues on GitHub, and then we go through them. And it's something that I haven't done in, I guess, a week and a half or 2 weeks, because I've been working on code, and now we're a bit behind schedule on getting things to the final stage. And the final stage is important because that's when we get these printed, and there's a whole bunch of print orders that we've been sitting on and we have to get out. So also making sure that this is in order, because we're teaching the class online. If you click on that link that Fabio presented, that'll take you to the a place where you can not just buy the $20 ebook, but you can also take the class online, which is happening starting in like 6 days. Yeah, 6 days, and it's a 2-day class. Actually, it's now a 2.5-day class. We decided to spend several hours teaching people or helping people with installations. Make sure your command line should be prefixed with every cheese. If not, let's see, prepare not, there we go. So if not, go back to chapter 15 and restart it. Django is the Python equivalent of Ruby on Rails. That is the actually Django and Ruby on Rails are emerge from within the same, or were open sourced around the same time, which was 2005. Django can run with Apache, but typically it's done on Nginx or Caddy, or I can't remember. There's like any one of those like web server things. So, and it runs under ModWhiskey, which is, if you're doing it within Apache, it's done under ModWhiskey. I don't know if, I mean, so there's UVcorn. I think that's written into it. Is uWhiskey written in? I thought uWhiskey was written in C. Is UVcorn? Do people actually deploy with UVcorn? I don't know. So there's UVcorn, but and that's built off of like UV loop. But Nginx is I guess that is a, I mean, that kind of dominates the domain for within the Python world for deployment for HTTP servers in production. I love celery. It's like one of my favorite vegetables. Okay. All right. Wow. So we just got a whole bunch of stuff done. Joan Eliot has more stuff. How did I miss these? Oh, I think I looked at this. I may think, but maybe the box before the next set would benefit from another sentence saying where you should be, folder environment. I see where she's coming from. Yeah. So Joan Eliot, her issues are great. Oh, and I don't have we don't have a period. Perfect. Fabio or Les FCB gave a great description. If you're coming from the PHP world, Laravel is the closest competitor. Next up, hope super already configure. You should be. We should be, because we try to do we use the royal. We should be in the root of the every cheese directory structure. And like I said before, us developers who have been doing this for a while, like, this is obvious, but when you're beginning, this is so confusing. So in fact, you know, like, in past year I started up Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and while I'd done striking martial arts for years, and I had watched UFC, and I'd never done like ground fighting before. And so there's a whole vocabulary, and just because you watch UFC doesn't mean you understand that vocabulary. So learning it has been like just things that, you know, people who've been doing it for a long time come instinctively. Like I have to think things through. Hey, weird. That's okay. Everybody is like that with their first language. There's going to be a lot of things where you're just not going to get it at first. And there's a trick. I can give you this magic trick for learning how to be the best programmer you can be. Let me find it for you. Hold on. Where is it? Wow, it is hard to find. Here you go. This guy, he wrote this article that's perfect, that describes what to do. Oh wait, this person is me. So here's the trick that you have to do. You have to code. You have to code a lot. I'm talking about tutorials. I'm talking about little silly scripts that you make to games, and you just kind of stick with it. You practice. You never get good at anything unless you practice. If you're good at video games, it's because you've played them a lot. If you're, you know, yes, there is something. I believe that people who become good programmers have a talent for it, because not everybody can program. I disagree with the statement that it's just a skill, but to develop that talent and broaden it with skill, that takes practice. To hone that talent takes practice. So this is how you get better. You just code and code. Well, what do you like to do that isn't programming? So Weird here is saying he doesn't even know where to start to write anything. Like, he doesn't have baseline knowledge yet. And so my question is, what do you like to do that is not programming? And once you give me that answer, and when you share that with us, then I can help you in the next step, because I've got an answer for you, but it depends on what you say. Gaming. Okay, so you can't write a game yet. Do you track your games? Do you like, for example, do you track your status? I'm not talking about someone else tracking it for you, but like, like if you're playing Fortnite, like, you know, I guess it's like 100 people play at once. Do you, or I don't know what the numbers are. Like, what position do you typically, like each time you play a game, you could write a script that saves that record in a file, and then as you progress through the evening of playing, you save your scores, and then you can see, oh, what is your position and things over time. And that is just to let you know, this isn't rocket science. I'm gonna, how do I create a new file? There we go. So I'll show you the code for this really quick. And okay, so if I do, let's see, if I do import from date time, okay, and then I could do something like with open, let's see, file.text, right, as F, so I'm opening up a file, and then what, oh, and then, let's see, it is input, entry, or score equals input, what did I get? And this, I think, needs to be A for append. And then what I can do is f.write, and in there I'm going to stick in a text string, and that will be score date time dot now. I can type, I really can. Let's reverse this, and we'll put a comma there. Okay, so now if I run this, this is Python code, probably not the best name. What did I get? I will put in like 4. Okay, and now if I look for open, I should change this to be score. Hold on. Move file.text to score.text. Actually, we're gonna make a CSV. There's a reason for that too. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Hold on, it's opening up. It's opening up something I don't want it to do. So this is what it created. So it gave me a date timestamp. It's July 10th, 4:25 p.m. my time, and I got 4th place. And hold on, I need to control my reader. And if I do it again, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit. What score did I get? And now if I run it again, Python code, what score did I get? Oh, I got 1st place this time. So now if I go back to score.csv, oh, that didn't work. See, I've got a bug in my code. Time to fix it. Yay! All right, so what I want to do is on to pack/n. This is a carriage return. And there's a better way to do this, by the way, like a fancier way for elite super programmers. Well, maybe not. It's actually really easy, and you're going to look at this and you say, well, Daniel Feldroy, he should have used the CSV module, but that's not the point. The point is that right now I'm tracking up. This time I sucked at Fortnite. Oops. Why did it just do that? See how it didn't give me, oh, it's I need to have the carriage return after, but now okay, so now it should work. Yeah, okay, so let's try it again. Am I going to get better at this game? There we go. See how it's adding records? Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to give you some to-dos. This is your homework. To do. Add a comment to each line explaining above each line explaining what it does. Okay. To do add the ability to specify Please specify a game. Let's see, to do, what's another one? Make it so you don't have to run the script each time. While loop. And then what's another one? Oh, and then and this, by the way, this is in the order of the challenge it will be for you. And then last thing is convert this. You might ask for some help, or you can look it up online. You can Google for this. Convert this to use the Python built-in CSV library. Okay, so this will work with the versions of Python you should be using. Score.py, and I'm gonna make this a public gist. Okay, great. So I was just worried if you're like on really old Python, this F part wouldn't work. Let me modify this a little bit. So how do I edit? But the thing is, Word, is you're gonna get better by coding. And I'm giving you this one as an easy thing. What you build doesn't have to be a huge game when you're starting it. Make silly little scripts like this. This is how, you know, Fabio said his brain wasn't prepared for this. None of ours were. But through starting small, most of us start small. Not everybody does. You're gonna grow and you're gonna get better, and you know, it's not gonna be instantaneous. The idea that, I mean, there are a few people who can just jump in and just be amazing from the beginning. There are a few people like that, but for most of us mortals, this is how it works. So good luck. Let me know how it goes. Okay, so we're gonna go back to GitHub, to Feldroy. Thank you everyone for so we have Django Crash Course. Yeah. Oh my god, it's so true. So although I've never really coded in C, the language I did that was close to C was I guess it was kind of close to C was Java. And there were just things that, like, just printing to you know, std out. That pretty much concluded my coding efforts for that day, which was July 10th, 2020. And this was Codecast number 8. I hope it gives you an appreciation to the amount of detail and focus that we have for Django Crash Course. It is a labor of love. So if you want to show appreciation for our work on it, please purchase it. You can find it linked to in the description below, or you can like and subscribe. Any of those things work. I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.